Welcome everyone. Today we have a new guide for Tower Fantasy. As you can see behind me, I have been testing a number of ways to get higher CS with free-to-play methods. And you can see I've been upgrading materials to 1-star, 2-star, even to 3-star. And also I have been testing, leveling up weapons. I've been testing up, killing different bosses to get more crystals. So I have been looking into a lot of methods of testing and different ways to get us to higher, CS. So you can see here, I got 190 CS for leveling the weapon from 110 to 120. And here I'll be looking for more ways of getting more golden dust. And what I want to do in this video is, I want to give you guys a summary and also a step-by-step process of how to get over 30,000 CS as a free-to-play player. And there's a lot of things you should be aware of. So this video will contain several parts. Make sure you look at the timestamp to look at those several parts. Firstly, I'll tell you guys what is the fast way of getting higher CS. And then how should you approach this? Because we also have guides from the community about sharing experience on the matrix and also on the equipment. How do you transfer experience on the equipment and what are the best ways? Finally, I want to talk to you guys about, when should you be doing what and what is recommended. When should you be getting your 300 golden dust, and also when should you be clearing different things to get higher CS. So there's a few things to go through in this video, and let's get started. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, you can get to 30,000 CS quite easily as a free-to-play player. You can see my purchase history over here. I haven't bought any of those over here. And I am planning to buy the monthly pass, but I won't rush it. So I am trying to show you guys that you can get to higher CS as a free-to-play player. And this is a goal of this video as well. Now coming over to my account over here, I haven't had much time to play lately for the past week, and you can tell I wasn't making a lot of videos. I do apologize for that, but I do want to take a little time, to do a few things on the side. But you can see here I have about 26,000 CS, and it is not the highest, it is not the lowest. So my weapons and everything still haven't changed. I have 1-star for Nemesis, 1-star for Samir, and also 3-star for the King. And I did use my black gold on the King. So I am still, pretty much free to play at the moment, and I want to show you guys what is the biggest upgrade and why do I say you can get close to 30,000 or even beyond as free to play player. It is because for every piece of the golden gear I get, the golden equipment I get about 1000 CS at least. So just to show you guys over here, this piece of bracelet will give me 2000 CS. Comparing to the helmet over here, that gives me 700, and comparing to the shoulder, about 700. So every piece of the gear upgrade I get about 1000 CS. And this is my plan to get over to 30,000 CS. And of course guys, not all the weapon is worth it to go to 3-star, because you can see this one did get higher force attack and also higher volt attack. So we'll talk about which weapon and which gear is worth it to go to higher stars. So coming over to our notes, one of the things I noticed that gives the higher CS is to transfer your weapon from purple to gold. You might be wondering, hey, how do you get so many golden equipments? We'll talk about that very soon. The second thing is, once you get golden equipments, you'll be selectively getting equipments to 1-star first, because this provides the highest combat score gain. So what I want to show you guys is over here. So I have purposely tested one weapon to 1-star, one gear to 1-star, one gear to 2-star, one gear to 3-star. So without any star, this piece of equipment is 1200. And with 1-star, it's about 1600 over here. As you can see, they're a little different between the gears, but it's about 400 gain of the combat score. But once you progress to the 2nd star, notice the gain is not much. The gain is about 340 for the 2nd star, and this is from 1650 to about 1900. But once you get to 3-star, the gain is even less. So what I recommend is always aim to get your golden gears to 1-star. So the next big question is, how do you get so many golden gears? Well, one way to do it is, try to get lucky and the drops. This is one of my best drops in the frontier. I was able to get 2 pieces of the golden gears, and this was quite lucky. But often enough, we don't get that lucky. So there's a few things I do want to highlight just as a start. If you guys haven't looked into the ruins, make sure you come over to the ruins, because I believe at the hard difficulty, once you go to A3 or it's B2. So once you clear the hard difficulty at B2, you will get 300 of the golden dust that you can use to purchase the golden gears from the shop. And of course, there is also other dungeons, even at normal difficulty, you can also still get those golden dust. I haven't had time to clear all of them, but by clearing a few of them, I was able to buy 3 pieces of my golden gears. So make sure if you haven't cleared the ruins, make sure you clear them. And don't get too scared about the difficulties of the ruins. I did an example over here. You can see this particular ruin, if I move my head, you can see it's about 50,000 combat score recommendation. During the time I was clearing this, I only had about 22,000 combat score. And the boss wasn't too difficult. So this was the boss I was clearing. So this is the boss, the monitor, level 58, and it wasn't too difficult. So don't be scared of the combat scores, make sure you clear all of the ruins, and this will allow you to buy at least 2 or 3 pieces of equipment. Now coming over to the shops to buy the equipment, you can see each piece is 1,200 for the items, for the golden SSR items. Now the question is, which one should you buy? My recommendation is to buy the boots and also the gloves if you don't have them. This is what I did because during the time I only had the other pieces, I didn't have the gloves, I didn't have the boots. Those 2 pieces, you'll be getting a lot of those pieces. You'll try to randomly roll the boots into critical and you'll try to randomly roll the gloves into critical and you'll be getting a lot of those. So it is okay to buy the boots and also gloves if you don't have them. After that, you can buy the rest of the pieces that you don't have to upgrade from purple to gold. You might be thinking, hey, maybe I should save those points. But to be honest guys, right now if you get higher combat score, you will unlock more content and also more resource. So it is worth it to spend those after getting to 1,200. And after this video, what I do is I try to get another 2 pieces of gears because I have enough from the ruins and also from the daily resets. So on the topic of daily resets, I do recommend coming over to Bygone. I haven't had time to clear it, so you can see my rank is like 67 and I'm on like, level 50. I can get to 150, I think. So there's still a lot of those to get each of the week. And similarly, if you guys do get to level 60 on the wormhole, the new dungeon does unlock, and this is really nice. Even at the start of the level 1 dungeon, you get 285 of the golden dust a week, and I haven't had time to clear it. So after this video, I'll try to clear this as well, because I only have 18 hours. I do believe we get to, we can get somewhere close to 400 golden dust a week or every 5 days for clearing this dungeon as well. So those are the ways to get more golden gears, and I do recommend buying the gears that you do not have. I'll be buying the rest of the 3 gears, and this is how I'll get over to 30,000 CS. Now coming back to our notes, I do want to touch a little more on the equipments because this is the biggest part of getting, higher CS. I actually will talk about the matrix and also the weapons briefly, but we'll come back to the equipments because all the other notes would be about the equipments as well. So in terms of getting higher gear score, we can of course get the weapons to higher stars. Currently this weapon is 3-star, but this will cost you black gold and this will need you to get lucky. But I think I did a small comparison over here just to show you guys this weapon, which is a 3-star weapon. By getting this weapon to 100 level 20 and 120 level, this weapon gives 190 combat score. So a similar weapon that is a 1-star, by getting this weapon to 120, this weapon gives 141 combat score. The difference is about 49 combat score for 2 stars. So I don't think it is the biggest deal to have the star difference, but rather it is in the matrices. Coming over to the matrices, what I recommend first is use all the golden matrices you have. I have been not very lucky, I only have 3 golden matrices, but make sure you use all the golden matrices and you level those up because this is the best way to get higher combat score. And I just got to the level 60 cap. So after you level those up, I usually equip this on my strongest weapon, and currently this is on the king. You can also upgrade your other pieces which are purple, and also you can affix it, so level up them with higher stars. I believe this piece is 1-star. What you want to notice is, I'll show you guys over here. The equipment themselves, so each of the golden chips, let's see, this one is 630 of the combat score. And if you didn't level that up, this will be 586, right? So comparing to this is a 2-star silver, 2-star purple chip, which is about 526 combat score. Notice leveling a purple equipment, which is a combat chip, this will also give you quite sizable of the combat score, because you can get 4 pieces of those equipment onto 1 weapon. So together this, if I get 4 of the unlocked fully maxed stars for the chips, I'll get about over 2000 of combat scores just with those. So even though I don't have all the golden ones, I can still use the purple ones to get higher combat score. And this also brings us to this particular guide. This is from Leasing One Trick, and this is a very important post about the transfer of experience. We might make a video on this very quickly as well. So what you want to notice with matrices and also equipments is that there is no experience loss if you transfer the matrices. So let's say if I feed a purple equipment into a golden equipment for experience, the experience won't be lost. So the experience to level this to level 55 won't be lost once I transfer this. Now what I lost is I will be losing the gold for leveling those up. So the gold cost is the only loss for the matrices. But you want to be aware of equipments. And I think this is a good time to talk about equipments, is that what you do is for the equipments, if you're using equipments of the same rarity without, basically, I'll come over here as an example. This is quite important because I'll talk about this very soon. So let's go over here. So if I'm leveling up this equipment in advancement, and here notice I'll be using equipments of the different grade, and you can see the increase of experience over here. If you're using equipments like this, you get full experience. Now, if you're using an equipment that is already leveled up, so let's see if I have one over here. I believe I have one over here. See, notice that here I can use this equipment, and this one is already 2-star. If I were to use this equipment, the experience will be lost, and the proportion that is lost is 70%. Now, there is also a method of recycling equipments and also getting experience by turning them into crystals. Because let's say if I currently have a lot of equipments on the helmet or the bracelet, and all the the wrist, the belt. If I want to turn those experience onto the experience for my gloves, I can transfer and recycle them into crystals. I'll show you guys over here. Let's say if I want to recycle this equipment into crystals, where is the recycle? Here it is. So if I want to just recycle any of the equipments into crystals, let's say if I want to pick this, what's going to happen is this will be incurring a loss of experience. Those will be converted into the crystals, but this will lose a 50% of experience. So I do not recommend recycling equipments into crystals unless you have one equipment that is maxed out. You have one set of equipment, let's say something like a boots that is maxed out with critical rate to max stars. Actually, I do have an example over here. We'll talk about this in the future too. So notice this is the post of a boot that is maxed out with critical rate. This is pretty amazing, right? I was like, wow, look at that. So this is like 4000 critical rate. So once you have equipment that is maxed out and you won't be using boots for leveling up, you can recycle the item which are boots. I do not recommend recycling equipments at the start because you can use the equipments you have to get the maximal experience. I don't even know if I explained this properly. So basically, use the equipments you have over here and try to not level things up that you don't need to level up, because it will be a 70% loss of experience if you level up any of the gears and you transferring them onto another gear. And also try to not recycle equipments over here using this function unless you already have a piece of gear that is maxed out and that have the correct stats, which will be very end of the game. So now that we talk briefly about the experience transfer of the equipments, the next question is, which item should you level up to at least 1 star? So notice how I have some of the items leveled up to 1 star and also have some pieces that is not leveled up at all. I do have a bunch of items to level this up, right? So the difference over here is I will always be leveling up a piece of gear that have a potential to roll into a right stats. I'm no longer looking for 3 correct stats like, attack, vault attack, or crit. I'm looking for at least 2 right stats or even 1 right stat. So here I'm looking for attack at least, and then looking for crit for the boots and also crit for the gloves. And what I'll do is I will try to level those equipment to 1 star. If they roll into the right stat, I'll roll them again. So this is the case for the bracelet over here. The first time I rolled into vault attack. The second time I rolled to 2 star, it went into vault attack again. I was hoping for vault attack or attack, but it went into force attack. Once it rolled into a wrong star, I'll stop leveling this up. So over here, that's what I did as well for the gloves. I was hoping this to go to vault attack or attack, but this went into HP. The moment this goes into 1 star that is the wrong stats, I will stop leveling this piece up. And similarly for the boots, I was hoping to go to crit or attack. It went into attack on the 1st star, so I'm happy to level this boots up to the 2nd star. Now, for the example of the pants over here, I did not get any of the right stats. I don't need force attack, and I won't be leveling these pants up. My plan is to buy another new pens in the future and to use these pens as a fodder. So the goal is always to level equipment up to 1 star to see if they roll into the right stats. If they roll into the right stats, then you can consider level this to the 2nd star. And this way I won't have any of the wrong stats. Yes, I'll be a little slow in progressing, but I know I don't want to lose experience. So coming back over here, you can see that if you level into the wrong stats and you keep leveling this up to like 3-4 stars, you will get a higher comeback score, but it won't be that high and you lose a lot of experience. So my goal is to always try to level equipment up to the right star. And if this is correct on the 2nd star over here like the boots, I'll try to go for the 3rd star or the 4th star. The moment it gets into the wrong stats, I might start up with a different boots. So this is my plan for the future, right? But currently, try to get all the pieces of the gears to 1 star first. And this should help you to get a 30,000 combat score. Now, finally, as a guide and also a tip of getting more equipment and also getting more resource in the game, what I recommend for you guys is after level 60, make sure you do the wormhole because this will unlock a new function and this will give you more golden dust. And what I start to do with my vitality is after level 60, I start to do the joint operation. And this is the level 60 joint operation. I do find this is some of the best ways to spend my vitality at the moment. Simply because I have enough items, I have enough upgrades to my weapons for the next level 65 or level 70. So I have been saving a lot of the upgrade boxes over here, as you can see those. And by having enough of those, I can use my vitality after 60 for the farming of equipment and also for chips. Now, what I'm also doing is I have been using my joint supply chip after level 60 because this will increase my chance of getting the SSR and also purple items. So you can see master equipments and also ultimate equipments. Now, I know guys, I have seen posts over here. So just to, to explain to you guys, I have seen posts like here, people are saying save those for level 70, for the level 7 ones, because this will give the best rate and best use of this item. But I have been saving all of my items on those joint supply chips for a long time. I have over 63 of those. I actually don't have enough of the vitality potion to use all of them. So this is why I start to use them after level 60. And with enough luck, maybe you guys can get some good drops like this. This is actually from Frontier. So I haven't dropped any from the level 60 dungeons, but with enough luck, I can have a higher chance of getting purple items for the upgrade and also golden items for my new pieces of gears. And in that sense, I won't use a lot of my supply chip. I'll probably use 1 a day or maybe 2 a day maximum. And once I get to level 70, I'll use those combined with my vitality potions to get as many of the golden SSR equipment to get myself to maybe 35,000 or 40,000 CS. So I'm still saving a lot of resource. But the plan is I'll get all my golden piece of gears, get them to 1 star, and then with the correct stats, I'll go for 2 star. And then I'll start farming after level 70 with all my vitality potions. Now on the side note, I have started to use my type 3 chips as well, the golden chips, to kill the work balls and also to loot the chest. I haven't got lucky with any of the weapons or any of the chips or any of the equipments, but you can start to use those. You will still want to save the purple ones and also the blue ones, but you can start to use the golden ones after level 55 because they will have a chance of dropping those golden SSR items as well, the equipments, but I haven't really got lucky with those as well, so a little unfortunate. And of course, before we finish, just in case you guys are wondering what is the best way with Frontier Hard, because I do think a lot of us are still having trouble with it, it is always good guys to go with the crew members. If you go with 3 crew members, you'll get the 30% damage bonus. So, and we talked about this in the previous video as well. So over here, if you go with crew members, if you have a look over here, you'll get a 30% damage increase. So always go with 3 crew members or the guild members. After that, try to look for a day of the reset that gives you an easier boss fight. So notice currently I am looking at a void damage reduction and also physical damage reduction. So if I'm using void weapons or void recharge reduction. So if I'm using void weapons or physical weapons, I might skip this boss. I can save my attempts up to 3 attempts. So I'm always looking for a stronger guild member or any guild member that can help. And also I'm saving for a boss that is easier for my weapons. I have flame weapon and also void weapon. And this is by far the best way to try to clear at least 2 boss. Your goal for the Frontier right now is to try to clear at least 2 boss. This will give you chance of 2 boss loots and also chances of 2 boxes after clearing those boss. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and for more content related to Tower of Fantasy. I'll be looking into more free-to-play content, and I've tried to look into minimum spending or no spending method to clear the game and also achieve the highest amount of free currencies and also free-to-play, characters and also weapons in the game.